Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to see if we can dye some woolen fabric with these mushrooms here. I will get back to you and tell you more about what kind of mushrooms these are and the circumstances of finding them and procuring them. And as you can see here, I have this lovely super thin woolen fabric here. I'm not sure exactly what color to expect. I have seen people getting different results out of this mushroom in particular. As you might have seen, it feels like spring is slowly coming. Just 3 weeks ago, I was out skiing on my homemade Viking skis, and now small plants are starting to sprout. The birds are in full activity. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind if we had another few weeks of cold and snow, but yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a reddish color for this fabric here. But join me for this adventure here, and we will find out together in a little while. So let's get started. I'll just take a moment and tell you about the plan for today. Now the fire is going, I have a pot of water heating up. In a moment, I'm going to take the dried mushrooms and drop them in. I want to give them a good boil for around an hour to really extract all the colorants that might be in them. After that, I will need to let the dye cool down a bit because I don't want to shock the wool. I have wool right now at the outside temperature here, maybe 7 or 8 degrees at the moment. The sun is coming up a bit more. If I just dump that into the water, it will shrink and it will harm the fibers. So I need to let it cool down a bit, maybe add some colder water to make it lukewarm before dumping in my wool fabric. As always, it's an absolute pleasure having you guys along here with me in this beautiful little clearing here by the stream, especially on a spring day like this doing crafts. You're always welcome to join here, and I'm happy that you came along. So we just had to move outside. I saw that the water was actually coming to a boil, so we needed to drop the mushrooms in. Okay, so once the wool is in the dye, I will slowly heat it up to around 60-70 degrees Celsius and keep it like that for around an hour. And hopefully that will make all the color molecules from the mushrooms, with the help of the mordant, the aluminium salt, attach to the wool fibers and dye this lovely piece of wool here into I don't know if it's going to be red color or orange or purple or pink. We are going to find out. I will just show you what I have here. It's a piece of wool fabric, really thin. It's around 1.5 meters times 1.5 meters. Let me see if I can if I can fold it out for you guys so you can see it. It's a lovely thin piece of wool, a lot like the one I'm wearing here. And once the wool is in, we will see if the color molecules from the mushrooms will actually work with the wool and give us a color. After that hour, I will let it cool off in the dye. Again, I don't want to shock the wool, so I need the bath of the dye to cool down, to be lukewarm before taking up the wool, and then we can rinse it, get rid of all the plant fragments, the mushroom fragments, and whatever pine leaves and stuff that might be in there. Shake it off, give it a good rinse in the stream, and we'll see what we have. I don't know if you could see that. It's we're getting a roaring boil, and the water is red. I'm actually getting a lot of color out of the mushrooms right now. I just wanted to tell you that I did spend some time with Anna almost a year ago in the Viking Center, learning more about the plant dyeing process. And if you have not already seen that video, I strongly recommend you to go back. Anna is a great teacher, and she's really good at explaining, probably better than I will be in this video, at what's going on. I tried to get some experience and learn some things during my time with Anna, and today I'm going to see if I can reproduce some of it and actually get results. Back then we did dye a large piece of wool with walnut, and that's actually the tunic I'm wearing. And if you want to see how the dyeing came about and how I turned the fabric into a pattern and created this tunic, I have a link in the video description below. It is a bit nerve-wracking to take an expensive and fine piece of wool fabric and just dump it into a pot over the fire and hope for the best. But you and me, we are in it together, and I'm really happy that you're here with me today, so we can learn this together. While the mushrooms are boiling now and hopefully extracting all the colorants from them for around an hour, I will tell you a bit more about the mushroom itself. I have no idea what the mushroom is called in English, but right here I will leave you the Latin name of the mushroom. In Danish we call it the cinnaberbladet slørhat. It is very small in the forest floor. It's brown. It has a little tip on the hat, like you can see. The stalk of it is yellowish, and underneath the hat it has this bright vibrant red color. This mushroom is highly toxic, very poisonous mushroom, so don't lick your fingers after picking them. Don't the containers you store them in, don't eat from them. The pot you dye in, don't use it for cooking or food. Again, be sure to be safe around this. And I have also been told by people that if you do dye with this mushroom indoors, the fumes might cause a little headache for some people. So I'm glad I'm out here in the open with plenty of ventilation, trying to be safe. When I do come up on a few of them, I collect them and store them in my little bag, bring them home, and I dry them next to a fire, and I've been storing them in a jar. And I always make sure not to take all of them. I don't. If I find a little group of mushrooms and let's say 10 or 20 small mushrooms, I don't want to take them all. Maybe I'll take half. If I'm really greedy, I might take 2/3. If I'm feeling very good, I'll take 1/3. But I won't take it all, and I'll bring some home and slowly collect them. If our experiment today here turns out well, and I end up with a nice piece of dyed wool fabric, my intention is to try and make a pair of brogues, which is essentially like an underwear. Or like a shorts kind of thing. You might have seen in an earlier video I made a pair of hosen, this tube leg kind of leg wear, where it's basically a tube that you put on your leg and you tie it to your belt, and that's a really nice way to wear leg wear and not be too warm also when you're working and doing stuff. But underneath the hosen you need a pair of, yep, I guess the best word we have today is underwear. I think it's called brogues. or bridges. I don't know exactly what the word is, but we'll get back to this. We do see this on contemporary iconography, and we do have some remnants of textile fabric that could be interpreted as this kind of thin, simple undergarment to wear under your thick and warm woolen hose. So to have a piece of underwear, basically, we're going to try and see if we can make. I know there was people asking about this when I made the video about the hosen, and I think now is a good time to come back to it. For now, I need to take care of the fire here. It's getting too low. The boil is almost stopping. We have been going for around half an hour, so join me and we will replenish the fire here and get going. While we are waiting for the dye to cool off, I'm going to use the embers to make a simple balm. I'm going to use some pine resin I have collected, some oil. This is linseed oil, and then a tiny bit of beeswax. I'll melt these things together, and hopefully that will create a nice balm that I can treat my hands with. One thing that I always come to think about when I'm chopping firewood for crafts that has fire as the primary engine for transforming what I want to do. That could be blacksmithing or like when we make, or like you saw when we made the beads with björk, all the firewood required to do that. Or if I'm making glue or tar. Actually, tar and glue we're going to come back to very shortly in probably the next video. Hide glue and pine tar for some projects. And now today, plant dyeing all the firewood that is needed. Even this small scale here, how much firewood this is, that would first have to be cut from the forest, brought home, split, stored, dried, seasoned, then probably split again into smaller pieces and then just used as fuel for a fire, for a craft. It's quite impressive to think how important that role is, and it does tell you a bit about the resources this actually takes to make some of these even simple crafts. Okay, back to the dyeing. I need to get the wool in slowly. I will let it sit for probably 10 minutes or something to get used to the temperature of the water, and then I will bring it up to the fire and slowly build up a fire again. And I want to keep that for around an hour, so I have to be careful and have to check with my fingers if it's getting too warm. Meanwhile, as you saw, the pine resin that I collected is slowly melting. It's going to take some time here on the outskirts of the fire in a clay pot. And when that is melted, I will add the beeswax and the oil, mix it all together, keep heating it until it's like nice and uniform, and then I'm going to let it cool off, and hopefully that has like the texture of any balm that you would use. And my hands and my lips are really looking forward to see how this treat will go. For those of you who don't know, when you're melting pine resin, it smells fantastic. It's so rich and perfumated. It's wonderful. Oh, and to help make sure that the water doesn't get too warm and to try to control the temperature a bit, I'm going to pick another bucket of cold water from the stream, so I have that to like add in if I need to regulate as we go. I'm just going to take a moment here and talk to you about the mordant, the thing we refer to as alun, the aluminium salt that is used to treat the wool before dyeing to prepare it to receive the color molecules onto its own fibers. It's a quite important step in plant dyeing if you want the dye to really set into the wool, to stay there for a long time and don't just wash out, and to really be vibrant. There is some dyes that are so strong in tannins on its own that the dyeing process itself will kind of like mordant the fabric for you. Like walnuts, for example, they have so many tannins in them that you don't need to pre-treat the wool. But when I spent time with Anna, she did a really good job at explaining what the mordant is and how it works and how the process goes. But one of the things that came up most in the questions in the comment sections in the video was, how did the Vikings get the alun, or the aluminium salt? And that is a really good question. I have been answering it a few times. I think I'll just take a moment here and explain about it. Aluminium salt is occurring naturally in various places around the world, and it's in the more southern parts of Europe it can be mined, and it has been mined dating back to the Bronze Age. I don't think there's any proof that the Vikings used the alun. I don't think we can trace that. I will have to ask Anna. I don't think we can trace the use of alum or different mordants with certainty. But the general idea amongst researchers and archaeologists is that the Vikings imported the alum through trade. There was huge trade networks. We also talked about it in the glass bead video a short while back, that these things came from southern Europe, even North Africa, up through Europe, made it to Francia, and then from Francia to trading towns in Holland, like Dorestad, for example, and then made it all the way to Viking trading centers such as the one in Hedeby or in Ribe. It must have been imported in ingots, like lumps, that the Vikings could have then crushed up with a mortar and a pestle, and then used as the mordant. And like I said, there are naturally occurring mordants, but most of them are tied together with a dye. I think they're called crab apples, walnuts. There's different, also some types of mushrooms too as well, have naturally occurring tannins in them that will act like a mordant, but they will also dye the fabric. So the idea of being able to import a salt basically that has been mined thousands of kilometers away, probably quite costly, to then pre-treat your wool to get clean, undisturbed colors out of the plant you have dyed, or even the plant materials you have imported as well, to show off your beautiful colors on your garments. I hope that answers some of the questions you guys might have about the alum. The whole process of dyeing wool feels like magic to me. There is so much that can go in different directions, and there's so many variables. So I suppose it's always quite a bit of an experiment, no matter how experienced you are. Okay, so our pot with the dye has been on the fire on a gentle heat for around 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, I would guess. I have not seen, over the last half hour, I have not seen any increase in the intensity of the color, which makes me think that I have reached the kind of like the saturation of what the wool fibers can take. It's looking like some kind of a orangey, faded orange, and not the vibrant red that I was hoping for, but we never know what will happen. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the pot off the heat. I'm going to let it cool off. I might add slowly some colder water if there's space enough in the pot, until it cools down again to lukewarm. Then I'm going to take the fabric up and rinse the excess dye liquid off it. In the meantime, my little clay pot with the pine resin and the beeswax and the linseed oil has been slowly melting down and are starting to be like a dark uniform mass. And also this I will set to cool down, and we'll see if it has the nice texture that I can use for rubbing on my super dry hands. Like I said in the beginning, I have heard of people getting dark, deep, vibrant reds, even purples and pink and oranges, and orange colors out of this mushroom, the cinnaberbladet slørhat. And this was a job I have been a bit nervous about. I'm really happy with the result. I look forward for getting this washed and dried, and then be able to make a piece of garment out of it. And of course, I'm going to bring you guys along so you can see what's that all about. During this video here, I have referred to a few different videos. I've referred to plant dyeing with Anna, where I learned some of the skills that you've seen me use today. I referred to different crafts that needs fire as engine or fuel for the craft to work, like tire making and glass bead making and blacksmithing. I referred to a video about making a pair of Viking leg wear, like the hosen, where the braies or underwear that we will make out of this orange piece that we just dyed will combine into a complete leg wear from the Viking age. All these videos, I will put links in the description below. So if you feel like you're not quite done watching, I can highly recommend these videos for your next watch. The next video you will see will also be here from the house, I believe. And I will try to make some more birch tar, and I need to make some hide glue made from animal skin. So there is some different, again, a fire project that we will get back to. I love making tar. I love tar, the smell, everything about it. And we'll get deeper into that, and also the safety precautions you need with tar. And at some point, also, I suppose, in the near future, we will come back to actually making garments out of the fabric that we dyed today. I hope you enjoyed the day as well. It's fantastic to feel the spring. Everything is coming to life, and it's crazy to think that 2 weeks ago it was minus 10, 15 degrees. And just exactly, 12 days ago or something, I was out skiing. I made a pair of Viking skis and I took them out for a test. If you want to check that out, head over to Patreon and you can watch it there. I will come back to making skis eventually in a few years' time, or a year. Whenever there's a big snow again, and there's snow for a long time, I will get back to making skis, and you guys will be able to see that part as well. But if you can't wait for skis, check it out on Patreon. I still hope for another round of winter. I would like another dance with the King of Winter again before embracing spring. Nonetheless, it is refreshing to be out on a day like this. While I have been rinsing and drying and shaking the fabric that we just dyed, the little balm or salve or whatever, in the lack of a better word for it, for my hands, have been cooling down. It did burn a tiny bit at some point, which made it darker than I wanted. But we're gonna sit down now and see how that feels and try to put some on the skin. It's perfectly safe. It's pine resin, it is beeswax, and it's a food-safe oil. Any oil could do. And if you want to try and make something like this yourself, take care. Everything is flammable, and you can also add, if you want, some essential oil to even up the qualities of your salve or your salve. What is the word? Salve? Balm? Salve? Balm? Spread, cream, whatever. If you have a good word for it, let me know below. I hope you had a good time watching, and if you did, be sure to write a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, all this kind of stuff. That really helps the channel going. And if you have questions for anything you've seen in the video here today, write them in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you and answer in time to the best of my ability. So for now, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you soon.